They are calling everything an agent now. Your CRM has got an AI agent feature. Your email tool has got one too. Half of what is wearing that label simply just runs the exact same step it did in the exact same order every single time. I build both kind for a living, and honestly, half of the time the label on the box has nothing to do with what is running underneath it. I am Hannah. I run an automation studio, so I build workflow automations for clients most weeks. I also run my own week through something that is closer to an actual agent. So I want to give you a practitioner test that I use to tell the two apart. And more usefully, which one your business need for the thing that you're trying to fix. Right, let's start with the one most people already half understand, because it's the one I build most often. A tool like anything, which is what I use for most clients, runs a fixed sequence. You design it once, this trigger happens, then this step runs, then this one follows in that exact order every single time. Does the same thing because you already decided what the steps you should follow every single time. If something happened outside what you mapped, an email in a format that you didn't account for, a field that is empty when it's normally full, it either breaks or just does nothing. That is not really a flaw. That's the whole point of it. Totally predictable. Same result every single time. Cheap to run, easy to look at and fix, and you know exactly what it will do before it does it. Most of what a business need is this. Not something cleverer, something boring and reliable that does the same 5 steps at 2 in the morning without needing anyone to think about it. This is where things genuinely changes. The system I run my own week on isn't the fixed sequence. I give it a goal or an instruction, and it works out the steps itself. Which order to do things in, whether to check something first, whether to stop and ask me a question before going any further, because the right next move has happened based on what it finds along the way. That's the difference between the two. Not how impressive one sounds, not how it is marketed. It has full autonomy and makes the judgment about the path, not just running down a path that somebody else already drew. That makes it genuinely more useful for anything ambiguous, anything where the right next step changes depending on what has already happened. But it also makes it less predictable, and it means that you can't just fire it off and walk away the way you can with a workflow that you've tested 50 times. So you're trusting it to make a call, not just execute one. So here is how to decide, and it is one question, not a checklist. Does the next step ever change based on what has happened along the way, or is it the same path every time, regardless of what comes in? Same path every time, that's an automation tool. It is cheaper, faster to build, boring in the best way. If the next step depends on judgment or something that varies too much to map in advance, that is an agent territory. But budget for that differently, test it properly, and watch it early on. It is not something you fire and forget the way you can a workflow. Most businesses I talk to get this backwards in one specific direction, and not the one that is obvious. You think that the business getting this wrong are underestimating AI, reaching for a rigid workflow for something that actually needs judgment, but it's the opposite. Most of the time, what I see is businesses reaching for an agent because it sounds more advanced, for a job that a simple automation would have done cheaper, faster, and more reliably. They choose a fancier option chosen for a task that does not need it. So that's the difference. Not how it is marketed, not how clever the demo looks, whether the next step ever changes, or whether it is the same 5 steps every single time. Next time something gets pitched to you as an agent, that's the only question that you should ask. Does the path change or doesn't it? That's the whole test. If you're not sure which one you're looking at, that's a fairly normal place to be. And it's genuinely part of what 3 balconies help businesses work out before they spend money on either one. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. I put out content every week. Thank you, and see you in the next one.